Today I'm going to be showing you what we used for our Spanish curriculum throughout the 4 years of high school. For the 4 years, we did use Duolingo. Duolingo is a great resource. We used this every day throughout the 4 years of high school. We really loved this. We would we'd do each lesson, and there were so many. There's even stories. There's a variety. But we would write down what we learned from a lesson into our notebook, and we would practice that for the rest of the day, and we would make a test at the end of the week. We didn't just use Duolingo for our Spanish, we also used a variety of different books, which I will show you, and I will have all the links in the description down below, along with additional resources I found off of YouTube. And we did make notes of everything in one of these 5 subject college ruled notebooks. We really liked how these were laid out. We sometimes take notes from the worksheets that we didn't understand some words, or we need a refresher on pronouncing them. So we just write it down in here, and I'd print out the worksheets, I'd put them in here, and then we'd write down like the vocabulary for the day. And I'll show you more of the notes in a moment, but this is what we used. I think it was $8 from Walmart. I showed this in another video. I'll link this in the description. All the books I will link in the description. I know that some of them, like, I don't know if these are still being made, but I'll link something similar. And I always have additional resources in the links of the description of my videos, such as YouTube videos that really helped us, or other books I found after I made this video that I felt should be mentioned and could be helpful for you. So we didn't just want to learn the language of Spanish, we wanted to also learn about the culture. So we used some of our what we learned in our world geography, which we used that for our 11th grade, but we used a lot of this because it goes over the Spanish-speaking countries and what it's like to live there. So we felt like that was important, not just to learn a language, but to learn where the language is spoken and what the culture of the people is like there. So we used our geography book, which I got off of eBay. Link it in the description. It might still be available. If it's not, I'll put the Amazon link. But this book is definitely still around, and it's pretty simple. There's just 4 questions at the end of a section, and then a chapter assessment. Just 4 questions, pretty simple. We also want to have some type of element of literature. So we got the U.S. Latino Literature, the critical guides for students and teachers, and this we got from our book sale, our local library's book sale. And this goes over great works by Latino writers, authors. So we use this as a reference. And we also got this one, another one from our local book sale. This is Lives and Works. This also goes into the authors and their lives, which again, we just felt like incorporating Latino authors, and then on top of it, Spanish language, and then where the people would be speaking this language. We thought that was the best way to really understand and absorb Spanish. So I also got this book, which I saw had a lot of mixed reviews because it is a parallel textbook. So it has a story on one side in Spanish, and on the other side it's in English. So a lot of the reviews that were kind of critical about this was saying that most likely if you got this book, you'd try to read what's familiar to you, which in this case it's English, and you would just kind of avoid the Spanish. But for us, we felt like it helped us more because we could take notes on words we just weren't familiar with in Spanish, or something we wanted to improve on, and then you just have the translation right here. So I wanted to show you what we did for that, and I'll show you that just in a moment. But this was off of Amazon, so I'll have a link to that in the description. This one I got off of Amazon. This is a middle/high school Spanish workbook, and there is an answer key in the back. A lot of them are also like answers will vary because sometimes they want you to write your own, like a little bit, like a sentence or two, a paragraph sometimes in Spanish. And this is kind of like, I use this as a resource. I don't use it as just the lesson. We do daily lessons from Duolingo, and we've been doing that since the beginning of high school. So we were doing 4 years of Spanish, and this is how we've been doing it. We have a little bit of geography. There's also other videos we watch, and many different resources that are online, which I'll have links to. But here's some of the worksheets. Very simple. It's maybe more middle school, but since you're learning a language, every little bit of information helps you. Every resource helps. We use a worksheet a day from this book, and then sometimes we use it from the other book from eBay, which I'll show you in a moment. And we really like to have just a constant flow of different vocabulary from Spanish every single day. That's the only way we felt like it really, we absorbed it and it got in our heads. Here is the book that I love so much. I got this off of eBay at an incredible deal, but I still think it's worth it. It's very hard to find the workbooks, but I feel like if you can just get the textbook, the student textbook, it is well worth it. So this is not only Spanish, this is also Spanish art, Spanish artists. So as you can see, this is Pablo Picasso here on this page. And a lot of it, how this book is set up, is you read a chapter. Let me show you. This is in very good condition. I got this for only, I think, $45 for the whole set. This is level 4 Spanish. So it has just a story you read in the beginning, a couple questions you answer, and then another story. And there's some vocabulary words you fill in the blanks. It's just very, I love the pictures. It's very colorful and engaging, and how the text is laid out. And the teacher's edition does have the answers to it. So this one has like extra notes on the side and the answers. My goal was, when I was making this curriculum, was not only to have just to learn the language, we wanted to learn the culture, the literature, you know, just the art, to get a full grasp of Spanish. Also, it's a really pretty book, so I feel like that helps get the information in your head. So for the worksheet to go with this, this is a testing program. This one has a CD in the back, and then there's a couple questions. But I really love the listening test because it kind of like sums it all up. So not only are you seeing how the language is written, but you're understanding how it is spoken. And then this is the teacher's editions of the writing activities, which this goes along perfectly with the textbook. But again, the workbooks are not really necessary, it's just an extra add-on. Then the student edition here is just the same thing. So now for the notes, so this is what I was talking about when I said we do notes for Duolingo. Here's an example of one of the pages of notes. We tried to do this every single day. Actually, we did it every single day. I actually also made sure that it was done on the weekends too. So Duolingo is done every single day, because the only way you can maintain your streak with Duolingo is if you do it daily. So we decided to use a 5-subject notebook. Any notebook will do. Just it has to be something that you can, you know, put the number of tests you've done. This is for example, this is the 10th test we did for Duolingo Spanish. Back then I think it was level 1, but we've taken this all the way up until the 4th year of high school, 12th grade. Okay, thank you for watching. This was a basic video on what we used for our Spanish curriculum throughout high school, mostly level 4, but most of the things you can use for any level. We just used to Duolingo every day, put our notes in our binders, watch a couple of videos. All the links will be in the description. Thank you for watching.